The Generic Geriatric Cyclist. Hills. Oh no, hills. Hello and welcome. I'm the Generic Geriatric Cyclist, and we're here today to talk about one of my least favorite topics, hills. Actually, that may no longer be true. I'm starting to try to embrace the hill. Today we'll lead off with another Eddy Merckx quote. Don't buy upgrades, ride upgrades. In the sport of professional cycling, the Alps, the Dolomites, and the Pyrenees are where legends are born. Bartoli, Pantani, Colpi, and Merckx all earned their legendary status in the mountains. Talent can only get you so far. It's the toughness on the world's epic climbs that separates the all-time greats from the rest of the peloton. And, turning to a cyclist who is definitely not an all-time great, that's me in the blue jersey with the red Z. But I'm not a professional cyclist, and the people watching this video aren't professional cyclists. Except for our love of cycling, we have very little in common with them. But one other thing we have in common is that we often judge our success as cyclists by our relative abilities to climb. Wow, but if that's true, I'm not much of a cyclist. Climbing is the one skill that I'd like to improve. And I have plenty of room to improve. That's why my every third ride this off-season involves a significant portion of elevation gain. Hills are tough for everybody, but they're the bane of the overweight cyclist's existence. Gravity makes hills tough for all riders, even slim ones. But add 30 or 40 extra pounds to the load, and you have a big-time disadvantage. Add a hefty dosage of psychological dread that leads to hill avoidance syndrome, and you have the perfect recipe for being terrible on hills. Along with the effects of gravity, I have trouble maintaining the same power on hills that I can on the flats. It seems like I have a whole different set of unused, untrained leg muscles when I ride up a hill. When you're not good at something, especially when that something is excruciatingly painful, you tend to avoid it. If you don't do hills, you won't be able to do hills, at least not comfortably, thus a downward spiral. But the reality is that you can't really be a cyclist in my part of the country without encountering elevation gain on every ride. So, short of moving to Kansas, what should I do? Well, the obvious answer, at least when it comes to riding on Zwift, is to weight dope, to cheat. I entered a number far below my actual weight. Hang on before morally condemning me. I'm cheating for a lofty purpose. Well, maybe not lofty, but practical. If I had to ride on Zwift routes that weren't hilly, I'd be confined to a small number of boring routes, like I was last off-season. And if I don't ride hills, I can't get any better at riding hills. Hopefully, when the outdoor season comes, I'll be able to attack hills instead of avoiding them. That's the theory, anyhow. Now it's time to put that theory into practice. Among the best hills to practice climbing is the UCI Short Lap in Innsbruck. It's exactly 400 feet of elevation gain. It's never crazy steep, but it also never lets up. Climbing this route teaches me to hang on without quitting. It would be so much easier to quit on routes with 10 plus degrees of elevation when you can be tempted to push your legs and lungs into the red. Also, I'm going to keep trying to conquer Alpe de Zwift, even though I haven't made it 1/3 of the way up. My plan is to gradually up my stated weight on Zwift in time to get in some serious climbing outside on the real roads. I won't weight dope forever on Zwift, but for now it's making me less hill avoidant. I look forward to the day, hopefully soon, when I can ride upgrades without artificial help. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you again soon.